I'm a guy that's 24. Each day I build some more. I like the sequels. I'm Rich Boy J. Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back with another video, and this is another episode of collecting every LEGO Star Wars minifigure. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, but this one is a pretty good episode. We got quite a few Clone Wars figures. I know there are a lot of you out there who are into that type of thing, and let's just go ahead and dive right into it. First group of figures are from the original trilogy, so where do I even begin with this? So this is a figure I actually already own, and I want to say I accidentally bought it, but I didn't really accidentally buy it. I thought I was getting something else when I really wasn't. So I'm going to pull up two pictures here, and these two are basically the listings for the figure I thought I was going to get and the figure that I actually ended up buying. So what I needed was Star Wars figure 0109, but I accidentally purchased Star Wars figure 0109A, which is a completely different figure and a figure I already have. This figure came in the 2007 Imperial Landing Craft set. Already got that set. The figure I wanted was the Sand Trooper from the original Cantina set. I believe the pauldron was actually a darker orange. It had a solid yellow head, and the helmet was the original version of the Stormtrooper helmet. So as for now, this figure's pretty useless for me. Moving on, we have Old Ben Kenobi. This is the original Old Ben Kenobi from the Luke's Landspeeder set, and it's kind of amazing to think that, like, we just recently got, the newest Old Ben, and I just got the first Old Ben, and there have been just so many changes to this figure for the better, I think. Like, this one is just very simple. Even, like, the torso details, like the lines just look especially cartoony on this one. I don't know what it is about it, but LEGO has certainly come a long way when it comes to these torso details, and you can even see it on this figure from 2010 or 11. This is the Hoth Rebel Trooper with chin dimple. That is literally how they describe it, because he has a chin dimple. This one came in, I believe, the second motorized the second non-motorized AT-AT Walker, as well as the Hoth and the Battle of Hoth set from 2013. So I have most of this figure, I guess, like a few other times. I just didn't have this specific configuration of it with the chin dimple. So another Hoth Trooper filled in my collection. I am happy about that. So we can go ahead and set aside our original trilogy figures. Next up, we got ourselves some pirates. How about that? So I'm super excited to have this Hondo Ohnaka figure. This came in the pirate tank set, and I'm actually quite shocked at how nicely detailed this thing is. Like, this is, I think, one of the few Clone Wars figures that I don't hate, which says a lot because I usually hate these figures. But, like, it has really good back printing. It even has back of the head printing to kind of represent his braids that are coming down, as well as just, like, the pattern on the back of his head. And even, like, the brown strap that would connect to his goggles on the front. So, like, I was just very surprised that they went all out on this figure. But it's a good looking figure, I think. I think if you were doing, like, a current mock and you wanted to incorporate Hondo into it, because he's wearing the glasses, it obscures a lot of his big cartoony Clone Wars style eyes, so it would totally fit. The next figure is one of his henchmen. This is, I believe, Turk Falso. He also came in that pirate tank set. And not really much to say here. It's a Wookiee. I don't know what it is about these Wookiee guys, but they're always like pirates or bounty hunters or something. But this is also nice too. Once again, it has the back head printing, as well as like the braid that's kind of coming down. So I'm actually very pleasantly surprised on these figures. I think that when I think about Clone Wars figures, I kind of just assume they're going to be under detailed, or at least like kind of detailed like caricatures. And I mean, you can still see that in the eyes. I'm still not a fan of this face at all, but I'm not going to say it's all bad, because I certainly do appreciate these back head and back print details that they included on this figure. So overall, I'm actually very excited to have these figures, especially Hondo. I might want to incorporate him into some sort of build, especially since my boy is apparently in Batuu, so who knows about that. Next up, we have a group of bounty hunters, and we got two big hat boys and we got a do-rag boy. So starting off, we got my man Embo from the bounty hunter gunship, I think it's called, the green bounty hunter gunship, and I'm happy to have him because I have every other figure in that set. I had Aura Singh, I had Suji, so it's nice to kind of complete it with this boy right here. And to kind of continue with the trend of what I was saying about the other Clone Wars figures, this one is so detailed, like holy crap. For one, the hat's detailed, so that's pretty nice, but even if you pop that off and get a better look at his face, I'm just very impressed with it. Like, I don't know, it's just a good looking figure overall. He doesn't have like pupils, so once again, it's not a horrendous big bug-eyed Clone Wars figure. So this is one I'd probably incorporate in an actual mock. And the leg printing is nice as well, and you can get a look at his back. And this is a really solid figure. And once again, more back of head printing. Very, very happy about that. Next up, we got Cad Bane and Shahan Alama. These are both from that Coruscant speeder set, the Bounty Hunter Coruscant speeder set. And I really am just so excited to finally have a Cad Bane figure. Like, I've been wanting to have one for a while now. I've been, holding off because I wanted to get the one with like the breathing apparatus that goes around his neck, and I finally got it. So Cad Bane is an awesome character, obviously. Definitely one of the best characters from the Clone Wars, and having him in LEGO makes me a happy guy. So if you remove his hat, get a better look at his head. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the way the Durases look in like the Clone Wars style printing. Much prefer the movie style printing, but just happy to have Cad Bane. I think his torso looks pretty incredible. Like that brown jacket with kind of the brown coat just looks really good. I don't know what it is. Brown coats just work well in Star Wars. And going to the backside, he has no back printing, but Shahan does. That's the boy Shahan Alama. He has a pearl gold arm, which is, I don't know what to make of that. It just looks cool. It's a pearl gold arm. And his torso printing is very simple. I would say nothing not too much to write home there. But I'm happy that I have these figures, just filling in more holes for the Clone Wars figures in my collection. And last up, we have Wolfwaro from the Wookiee gunship from Rebels. And this is actually a really nice figure. I like that with Rebels that we got, I guess, more generic Wookiees. I mean, he's not a generic Wookiee per se. He has a name. But if you wanted to just have like a group of Wookiees, you can certainly use, I guess, these other guys to kind of make them look like a more diverse group. So I appreciate that about these Rebels Wookiee sets. And one of the coolest things about this figure is I actually had no idea it had this like arm printing, and that is so freaking cool. Like, that is awesome. I love that. It's like I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like a Wookiee pattern. You can see it on like Tarful, and I don't think Chewbacca has it, but I know it's definitely on Tarful. But yeah, it's cool. It's a nice, cool little addition. So I certainly appreciate that. This guy is dark brown, which is nice to get, a mixture of the dark brown Wookiees and the just standard brown Wookiees. And overall, I'm just happy to have this figure. Like, if I was going to do some sort of mock with a group of Wookiees, I can have even more diversity in that since I have Wolfwaro. He has leg printing as well, which is kind of cool. Just have some small little fur details in there. And overall, I actually really quite like this figure. Surprisingly, this is the most detailed figure out of this bunch of figures on account of the arm printing and just, I don't know, the updated mold, just all of it. So let's go ahead and put these figs on the wall. Oh, one thing I did want to mention before we go into the time lapse is I want to give a very special thanks to the person who sent me this. This is Count Dooku's curved chrome lightsaber hilt. I actually don't know who sent it to me. It was mailed to me without a return address, but I mentioned a few updates ago that I needed this because the one that I bought from a seller did not come with the curved hilt, so I really appreciate you for sending this over to me. I'm actually super stoked to finally add this to my old school Count Dooku and really just complete the figure altogether, so thank you so much, whoever you are. Now that we got the figures placed, let's go ahead and take a look at them. First one in this group of figures is the old Ben, and he's chilling up there next to the Naboo Royal Guard. I'm really liking that so much of that top section is getting filled up. Like, if you go back to, the first few episodes of this, I was missing so many figures from the top half, and now, step by step, figure by figure, it is getting closer to looking as full as that bottom half does. So I'm just very pleased with that. Like I said, in previous episodes, I really do want to focus on the top half, getting some of those older, maybe not necessarily too expensive figures filled out at the top, because I know I have so many at the bottom since I'm pretty much buying every single set nowadays. After that guy, I believe we had that chrome lightsaber hilt on Count Dooku, so you can see he's looking good. Man, like, 10-year-old Jay would have been so happy to see this. Count Dooku was one of those figures I wanted so badly in my collection, but never ended up getting as a kid. And then I think next up we had the Clone Wars guys, so you can see we got Hondo and Turk right there. We also got right below them Cad Bane and Shahan Alama from that Coruscant speeder set. And I think we also had our Wookiee Wolfwaro. He's chilling here next to the rest of the Rebel guys. And then I think the last one was this Chen Temple Hoth Rebel Trooper. So a lot of spaces filled in this week. 9 figures is always a good thing to add to this. The list of figures is growing and growing, which is like why I've kind of stalled with extending the wall up to this point. I'm trying to just start from the back end and then work my way towards the figures that are being released now. It's not a huge problem because, like I said, I buy all the sets, so I'm pretty caught up when it comes to just having the figures, but not so caught up when it comes to placing the figures. But that's going to finish up this week for the minifig wall update. I hope you enjoyed checking this out. I'm so happy that I have this project. It's always fulfilling to work on this because it's history, right? It's all the LEGO Star Wars minifigures starting from the very beginning up until now. So if you guys like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll be back again very soon.